With Volume 1 of Stranger Things 4 having been released and minds running wild, let's hop into the Upside Down and take a look at 10 speculations that have been addressed by the cast of Stranger Things. Warning you now, this video is like a parking lot car meet. Major spoilers ahead. I don't want to see any of you complaining in the comments. Number 10, the final season. With any show, as each new season comes out, avid viewers and haters alike wonder just when the show will finally end. We've seen shows like Supernatural go on to live far past their expected lifespan, and usually for the worst. I'm sure none of us want to see a show as standout as Stranger Things become a convoluted mess of death, resurrection, and reused plotlines. With Season 4 coming to a close, many people are anxious at the thought that Season 5 may be the show's last. Actor of Dustin Henderson, Gaten Matarazzo, said he's not sure when it'll end, but he'll continue to act in it. He says he thinks that the Duffer Brothers have an idea of what they want to do with the show, and they're just playing it by ear and figuring out how they want to do it. It seems the Duffer Brothers themselves agree with that sentiment, as they stated that they know what the end is and when it is. We can only sit and wait for an announcement, as who knows how many plots the brothers have planned out for the show. Let's just trust that they have a smart and fulfilling ending planned out that doesn't feature a really bad wig. Number 9, The Break. As we look towards Season 5, we can also only speculate on just how long it might be before it ever comes out. Season 4 took so long thanks to the restrictions that it became a trend on TikTok to show a picture of yourself when Season 3 came out, and then a picture of you when Season 4 came out, often highlighting the drastic changes that took place over the long hiatus. The Duffer Brothers said that Season 5 was pitched over the break to Netflix, meaning that there's already a strong outline and understanding for how the season plays out. Hopefully this means it won't take very long for them to get rolling on the production side of things. It seems this could be true, as they also commented saying that the gap should be quite a bit shorter this time. For those of you overly worried about the wait and the potential of the show ending, they also said that they have an idea for a spin-off series of the show, saying they haven't told anyone or scripted anything yet, but the seed has been planted. Personally, I'd like a spin-off series about Muse. Rest in peace. Number 8, Jonathan's character arc. For those of you who don't know, which I'm not really sure why you'd be watching this video if you didn't, Jonathan Byers is the older brother of party member Will Byers. He has played a large role in previous seasons, working together with the older clique, including Nancy and Steve, in order to help fight the monsters from the Upside Down and save the world. However, some people are apparently voicing their concerns over the character arc that Jonathan seems to be taking through Season 4. In the season so far, spoiler warning, just for those of you who didn't hear it the first time, we've seen Jonathan and his family be sectioned off to California, separated from the rest of the group and the immediate threats of the monsters in Hawkins. Many people said they're upset that he seems to have been pushed to the side, not having a huge involvement in the main storyline, following his own plotline of his apparently failing romance with Nancy. Jonathan's actor Charlie Heaton commented on this, saying that due to the fact that it's an ensemble cast with new and wonderful characters, they all need a chance to develop and shine, saying that while the story may be going different places than shining the spotlight on him, he feels the tension of the romance between him and Nancy is still an important story to tell. Number 7, Jamie Campbell Byer. Alright, I'm only going to say it one more time for you guys, because this is a big one. Spoilers incoming! I'm giving you 2 seconds to click off. Still here? Okay, let's get into it. Jamie Campbell Byer plays a character called Henry, a character we meet through 11 splashbacks of her time in Brenner's facility. Henry's an orderly, helping care for the children. By the end of the season, we discover that he is actually number 1, Brenner's very first experiment and son of Victor Creel. We also learn that after his time in the facility, he becomes the monster Vecna, the main antagonist of Season 4. When he was announced for the show, his character was named Peter Ballard, and he was described as a caring orderly, obviously pretty far from the truth we see revealed. Fans were confused and left with a lot of questions, like why was this Peter Ballard suddenly named Henry Creel? Jamie apologized to fans for the confusion, saying that he has no idea where the name came from, and that he knew he was gonna have a tough time answering if anybody asked about it. He said he was sorry and felt bad for being a part of such a massive red herring. But hey, who knows? Maybe the big plot twist of the finale will be that Vecna decides to get his name legally changed to Peter Ballard. You never know. Number 6, Season 4. Yes, of course, we already know that Volume 1 and the majority of Season 4 have already been released, and if you've watched this far, you've probably already binged it all. But let's take a look back at some of the things that were teased ahead of the season and how they were revealed throughout the episodes, and maybe give us a look into how Volume 2 will cap off the season. Millie Bobby Brown said that we would see Eleven working on herself and gaining independence from the people that controlled her. Obviously, we know that she was reunited with Dr. Brenner and is reliving her past of being in the facility. Moving forward, Millie's comment on independence could mean that we see a conflict occur between her character and Brenner in the coming episodes. Sadie Sink, who plays Max, also said that the villain is the most terrifying and evil character we'll see so far in the show. The show has obviously ramped up its levels of horror, and Sink commented on this, saying that as they have matured, the show matured with them. So looking forward to how Vecna's character may develop in the finale, we have to wonder if the gang will actually be able to defeat him, or if we may be left to see this villain continue to play out in Season 5. Number 5. Character reunions. At the end of Season 3, we saw a lot of the characters being separated as the Byers family moved to California, bringing Eleven with them. And we were teased that Hopper was alive and not so well in the cold and bitter Russia. Going into Season 4, we were left wondering whether or not these characters would see each other again and how exactly it would play out if they did. And as we still have Volume 2 left to watch and characters are still as far apart as being in separate countries and worlds, many fans are wondering if the whole crew will ever be back together again. Millie Bobby Brown commented that seeing the characters in new environments would be refreshing for the show, and that it was really nice to see. Her positive outlook on the situation gave fans hope that the move to California wouldn't put too large a dent in dynamics between the group. Joe Keery, actor of Steve Harrington, however, raised some concern when he stated that he thinks he never saw David Harbour throughout filming. David Harbour, of course, being the actor of current Russian prisoner Jim Hopper. This obviously makes us wonder that the finale will not include the whole group together fighting Vecna, but maybe instead the different teams helping in different ways in their own locations. For now, all we're able to do is speculate, as we know we likely won't hear anything further from the cast and crew of the show. Number 4. Size of the cast. As the show develops and more characters are introduced that seem to be vital to the story, like this season's Eddie Munson, some of us are left wondering just how big can this cast get? If it keeps going on like this, it might become too large to follow, with some of the characters perhaps being left without any real screen time to develop and have meaningful character arcs. It seems Millie Bobby Brown was also thinking this, as she made some interesting comments about how this cast seems to be growing. She said that the massive ensemble cast is growing at an alarming rate, so much so that they weren't even able to take a group picture. She said, "You need to start killing people off, and we need to get to the mindset of Game of Thrones." Game of Thrones, of course, being the show well known for major characters seeming to drop dead left and right. She even jokingly called the Duffer Brothers sensitive Sallies who don't want to kill anybody off. After these comments, fans are left worried, as she raised a good point. We've seen some major characters like Billy die, but there haven't been any major deaths within the core cast. Perhaps this could be what we should expect from the Season 4 finale. Number 3. Lucas and Max. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, which took place before the release of Season 4, actor for Lucas Sinclair Caleb McLaughlin commented on how he'd like to see his character play out in the coming seasons. Many fans were wondering this as well, as we left Season 3 seeing his budding relationship with Max. Caleb stated that he wanted to see his character become more mature, and said that he would likely play a helping hand in Max getting over the grief of Billy's death. Of course, we saw this come true in the first part of the season, as after their breakup, Lucas still attempts to speak to Max and comfort her. He also said he wanted to see his character have more dramatic and mature moments. Maybe we'll get a chance to see a bit more of this arc playing out when Volume 2 releases on July 1st. Number 2. It's all a game. For this one, we're jumping over into the world of theories about the show. This being a very popular theory that what's happening in the show is, well, not actually happening. The theory says that what we are seeing in the show is all part of a future Dungeons & Dragons game between the characters. Obviously, we've seen in the show that all the monsters and villains have been represented through actual D&D monsters. The parallels between the game and what's happening in the show have always been a strong theme. So what if it wasn't real and was instead adult versions of Lucas, Max, Dustin, Mike, Will, and others playing a game of Dungeons & Dragons and making up wild fantasies about stories and nightmares they had as children? Actors Joe Keery and Maya Hawke said that they personally loved the theory. They also commented on other theories like Max getting powers from the Upside Down, Natalia Dyer commenting that it runs in the family. I personally love reading different theories about the show, as you never know when one might just end up being true. Number 1. Will Byer's sexuality. One of the most popular speculations going around right now as the season rolls out is that of Will Byer's sexuality. Many people have thought that it was hinted even in previous seasons that Noah Schnapp's character might be gay. The theory only seems to be getting stronger, as Season 4 presented us with many scenes between Will and Mike that seem to parallel popular cliché scenes from romantic comedies. When asked about how Will's affection towards Mike seems to be becoming more romantic, Finn Wolfhard commented saying, "Yeah, I think you find out slowly through the season Will's kind of love towards Mike, and I think it's a really beautiful thing." Noah Schnapp commented on how they never really specifically say what Will's sexuality is, and that's the beauty of it, saying it's good how it can be left up to the audience's interpretation. Millie Bobby Brown also said, "We don't need to label things. Some people don't know, and that's okay," responding in a pretty similar way to Schnapp. While some people have seen a few of Will's lines as seeming to really show a true romantic interest in Mike, executive producer Justin Levy said that there are no accidents in the show and there's a clear intention for every character. While some people think it would be unnecessary or even offensive to have Will Byers be gay, some people have their fingers crossed and are hoping to get more representation in the show, especially from a main character. So that was 10 speculations addressed by the cast of Stranger Things. I'm wishing good luck to all as we wait impatiently for Volume 2 to release. Join us next time for more.